affect the game, because the goal was scored and it was chopped off offside.
Preposterous call.
Wrong call.
Well, match official Yusuf Salai from Tunisia.
You have to go with the assistant.
I will have to. And the assistant referees are Emil Ismail and Yusuf Jami. Meraz Melki is the fourth official. And the Nigerian side now, in their heart, they might be thinking, are we against not only the Iberians but also the match officials? Free kick taken by Henacha. So a throw pass, no real connect there. It's going to be a goal kick to Liberia. 29 minutes of action played in Tangier. Liberia 0, Nigeria 1. A 15-minute penalty converted by Victor Osimhen. It was well taken. Some would question if it was important for the Liberian manager to invite Nathaniel Schramm. Even as I mentioned him, the director had to pan his gaze on the coach, Peter Butler, who invited Schramm to come in as goalkeeper coach, replacing Sunday Seya, who previously served in the position since Butler was appointed head coach of the Liberian side, and that was in August 2019 is when he became coach. Had quite what you consider to be an illustrious footballing career as a player. The man who was born in Halifax, played football for quite some interesting teams, including West Ham United, also North County and Grimsby Town. For geographical reasons, these teams are known to punters across the world, like Cambridge United, Bury and Southend United.
I got over Redbridge.
My favourite team, just to make reference to guys who are fumbling. But it's been quite as expected. Not many would have fancied the Nigerian team to go gung-ho. Scoring 4-5 goals after 13 minutes. They scored one and we're in the
should have been two.
Process. It could have been three.
It could have been three. Actually, it could have been three. Very close. But this Nigerian team, at the very least, showing dominance. At least we can say that second goal was chalked off from wrong officiating. The run was kept onside. The pass was played at the right time by Kelechi Iheanacho. That vision was absolutely delightful. And the finish, while it was a bit fortuitous, it actually ended up in the back of the net. Kelechi Iheanacho, that vision.
Friendly against the Seleção of Brazil. And he's a happy man as the season wraps up. He's going to be playing in the Premier League with Watford Football Club at spring of his footballing career, just from Dutch Eredivisie to the English Premier League. It's quantum leap. Good piece of passing. Iheanacho with a cheeky pass. Gets in from Victor Osimhen. Great first start. Could be his second. And Osimhen decides to compete with the height of the fluorescent light at the stadium. He was onside, he was 1-on-1, and he missed it. Yeah,
it was a terrible miss. It seemed like the ball, he couldn't necessarily get it out of his feet. He struck it a bit too hard. I think if he had sacrificed just a little bit of power for some accuracy, he certainly would have made a lot more of that. It was a tighter angle, the Liberians, and they had closed it down a bit, but he had more options. All he needed to do, he could have struck it right across the goalkeeper. He could have tried to beat the goalkeeper at the near post, as he did, and he tried the near post, but there was a lot more force than there was accuracy accuracy on it. And right now, it could have been an easy 2-0. Victor Osimhen, with the quality he has, certainly can and should be doing a lot better in that position. And the Liberians can't seem to know what to do with Osimhen and Kelechi Iheanacho on this occasion. Looks like Genetro's gamble has actually paid off. Necessarily, Odion Igalo isn't required in this game.
Match fitness just maybe. They wouldn't be too excited about that possibility of not seeing him start on Tuesday against the Blue Sharks. That's a possibility. And it's a simultaneous fixture, even as Nigeria have a corner to take. The game going down in Mindelo, it's crucial for the Super Eagles if they will still playoff qualification today. So try to keep tabs with that and counter well. Fascinating scoreline. Well, as he stands, Nigeria through to the playoff because Cape Verde are losing to the Central African Republic. Isaac Ngoma is the man who's scored for CAR. So if he ends this way, Nigeria will be through to the playoffs, and the game against Cape Verde in Lagos would be all but just ceremonial. And I also give him his credit, True Stakung, with that connected header for the second time. Hands and head. It would be a goal kick to Liberia, but just the effort and intention from the Nigerian central defender of Watford Football Club. Goal kick taken quickly.
Yeah, this Nigerian side very dominant. I mean, that corner kick was inch perfect. William Trusekong arriving in the near post, getting his head to the ball, and the Liberian goalkeeper having to earn his wages on that occasion for his country, doing very well actually to keep the ball out of play and get another corner. William Trusekong making a second header of the second corner and trying to get Victor Osimhen into the game, but it was slightly higher than the very tall Osimhen could get to, and it didn't end up in the back of the net. But a lot of pressure being applied by the Nigerian team, and the Liberians now trying to bypass the midfield has been completely dominated by Nigeria to get their attackers into play, and it's very tough, but it's something that can happen. Up until now, we've seen that defensive lineup that Genetro has picked out work inch perfectly. There's been a bit of loss of focus, but it's not necessarily attributed to anything. But the Liberians being very, very enterprising with the way they're playing football. We saw a challenge being made by, I think it was Olaino, on the left hand side of the Nigerian attack defense. Jamilu Collins, pardon me, and he ended up with a goal kick for Nigeria. So fantastic stuff. It seems like the Nigerian defense is doing its job, and the attack is doing what the defense is going to be doing in a better way. Using attack as the best form of defense, and that's just basically what we expected to see. We expected to see dominance. We expected to see good football, and that's what we're seeing.
And Emmanuel, I was surprised in that challenge. That move, to me, it was a foul.
Against the Nigerian team.
That should have been a free kick to Liberia, and even a yellow card to the Nigerian defenders, where it was outside the penalty area. It would have been a free kick and not a penalty. But to me, that was a foul.
Not as much when it went down hard, just inches away from the byline, and there the body check from Mercy Simon on the right hand side. After 37 minutes, how do you assess the Tunisians officiating? Yusuf Esrai? Do you think it's done decent?
Well, apart from the offside call against Nigeria, which
necessarily isn't his call.
It wasn't, of course, it wasn't his call. The assistant referee raised the flag for the offside, and he had to go with him. The assistant referee was in a better position to see it, and since he doesn't have the benefit of looking at the screen, the monitor from the VAR, he just had to go with the assistant referee, because in this particular game, offside calls are better called by the assistant referee. If he's wrong, you have to go with him. If he's right, you have to go with him as well.
Oh, you could feel the strength. Just Madaka Okoye coming out for the ball, and that's filling. Well, not it done completely. And I'm just happy to remind all listening, if you're a Super Eagle fan, you should be jolly at the moment, because as he stands, they are through to the playoff stage. Well, except Cape Verde turned the tide out in Mindelo because they're currently trailing by a goal. It's visibly surprising. So in Group C, it's just the away side who are in the lead at the moment. 38 minutes of action played. Cape Verde 0, Central African Republic 1, Liberia 0. The Super Eagles of Nigeria 1. Victor Osimhen's penalty in the 15th minutes, the difference. Here's Osimhen again. Beautiful first touch from the Napoli-based player.
I have to say, I've been very impressed by Victor Osimhen's first touches, and his close control. He's used it to get past Liberian defenders on a couple of occasions, and they are having a huge battle at just contending with him, and the way he plays his football is very dominant, bullying defenders off the ball. He's ready to take on 2-3 defenders, create space, and on the occasion where he's in the wide areas, he's even been seen to whip in crosses, not very useful crosses, but then again, it's the intent that counts at this point. So Nigeria being very comfortable on the ball and making a few mistakes, but not mistakes that are going to be anything to the Liberians can take advantage of. Most of the mistakes have been made in the attacking third of the Nigerian side. It's basically just trying to slip those balls in and not doing it at the right time, or not doing it convincingly enough, and the Liberians making interceptions. But a bit more quality would certainly cause problems for these Liberians, and that's something that the Liberian coach has to take into account, because it doesn't seem like the defenders are going to be having a very good time by the end of 90 minutes. Right now it's 1-0, could have been 2 or 3. Again, I'm going to mention it, and the Nigerian team doing their utmost best to actually make life very tough for these Liberians.
Oh, it's brilliant. First touch still out into possession. It's not going to be just a free kick, but a yellow card will accompany that tackle on Macaulay. It's the man who has the number 2 shirt for the Liberians, but the referee seemed to be a bit lenient. He's gone with just a call of a free kick, no caution, additional to Jamilu Collins. So he's a free man.
Yeah, but that's not been a yellow card. That's not been. He just been there.
Same way the goalkeeper should have gotten a yellow or red card when he brought down Kelechi Iheanacho.
It's a bit being consistent in terms of the calls from the match official. Free kick they have, Liberia. 5 minutes into the break, it swung into the penalty area. Haruka punches.
I have to say that was a terrible free kick, because at least 3 Liberian players are caught offside. Ball eventually didn't touch any of them, got out to Maduka Okoye, who was able to punch it away and into a more defensible position. And then of course Nigeria trying to break with Alex Iwobi, trying to find Victor Osimhen, but unable to as of that moment. But the high press from Nigeria is still working. It's funny that I am actually saying that Nigeria have a high press, but with Victor Osimhen and Kelechi Iheanacho, it seems like they've got a mandate to make the Liberian defense and goalkeeper have problems, because every time they're pressing really high, it's usually 2-on-2, trying to catch the Liberian defense out, and it's been working. So I'm glad to hear and see that. It seems like Genotro actually analyzed this Liberian team, and everybody sat down and they know what they're going to do. They know what they have to do to make life difficult for this Liberian side. Then again, it was a team that they beat 2-0 in September. 2 goals in the first half. It was a very dominant performance. In the second half, they kept a clean sheet all through. So it's not something that the Nigerian side have not been known to do. Great football from Nigeria, and just a few more telling passes would certainly not be amiss in this game.
It was the Kelechi Iheanacho show in the first leg. They could also rope in Alex Iwobi. Both players haven't combined brilliantly in this encounter, but they were the most valuable players in that fixture. The first game served off for the World Cup qualifying campaign for the Nigerian team. Possession back, Papai. Oh, he's given away possession to Trustaker. Here's Aribo, central. Good first search to find Alex Iwobi. Just attack. Goalkeeper Madako Okoye?
Very absolutely tame. It wasn't a strike that was going to bother Madako Okoye in the slightest. It was just a testing strike. It was one of those let's just register a shot on target in the first half kind of strikes, and that's what they've done. Nigeria can recycle and move forward and try to create something. Nigeria need to actually score. I think Nigeria needs to try as much as possible to put this game to bed, at least in the first half. So when you come into the second half, you know all you're doing is dominating possession and then being very patient to finding the spaces. Right now, just a lot more pressure. We've seen 44 minutes gone in this game. Nigeria is still leading. It's still 1-0, but a 1-0 scoreline in football today isn't necessarily anything to write home about. We saw the intention from Alex Iwobi, very good intention, but it didn't necessarily, the execution wasn't the best. It wasn't the best actually written, but great defending from William Trustekong, I do believe. That was
give that to Leon
Balogun, pardon me, and then Nigeria trying to keep possession of that ball. Great play, I have to say, and very smart defending, very smart. That's European defending in an African setting, but I think Leon Balogun actually doing the job, and the backline for Nigeria, while they've been slack on a few occasions, but they've been
professional.
Yeah, they've not been criminally negligent as we've known to see them in recent times. So great game actually for the Nigerian team, and not so much for Liberia. Even though they are actually filling the boots that they came into the game with right now.
Yeah, they might be bottom of the group. They're quite. The three-time African champions in your quest to play at the 7th FIFA World Cup Mundial. At halftime from Tangier, Liberia 0, Nigeria 1.
very happy. Like Europe, most of us I think we love the weather. So I hope the weather is gonna give us what we want, inshallah.
what looks like, I think it was Leon Balogun, Trustekon's opportunity when he was arriving at the near post, and the goalkeeper had to keep it out. So he certainly could have gotten at least 4 goals in the first half, but only 1, and we have a free kick moving on to the second half.
We do have a free kick for Nigeria just early into the second 45. Mercy Simon and the Watson Brownish peripheral in the first 45. Nice back up, some display in the second. Simon takes it, goalkeeper. Oh, makes it look quite kindergarten-ish, if I can say that. There's no power behind that.
Yeah, it was just the kind of free kick that gets over the wall and looks dangerous enough that the goalkeeper has to actually sit up and take notice. But there wasn't really any power behind that, and it looked dangerous, but that was basically where it stopped. You know, the looks are everything. But if Moses Simon, he got on target, and then he made Madiko Okoye, he made the goalkeeper for Liberia work. He scrambled a bit, not necessarily scrambled, just got together, and after everything, Moses Simon able to get the ball over. He wasn't at an acute angle. It was very comfortable for the goalkeeper, all in all. And but then again, this Nigerian forward line is looking particularly dangerous. Alex Iwobi being that link up again, sending the ball over the top, completely bypassing the midfield to get the Nigerian players in, and Victor Osimhen putting enough pressure on the Liberian backline to get a corner kick, and that's what we expect to see, because this Liberian backline, they look more organized. But then again, the start of the second half, we can see clearly 4 players marking just Victor Osimhen and Kelechi Iheanacho, and that's what you want to see, because that means that there's a lot more spaces everywhere else for Nigeria to exploit, and congestion in the 18-yard area isn't necessarily a bad thing, especially when you know what you're doing. So great one for Nigeria, showing dominance and showing intent in this second half, and this could be dangerous.
Iheanacho to Victor Osimhen. So players who, Alex Iwobi in that instance actually, players who found some level of understanding, playing together for quite a while. And there's always something confusing if you're the opposing manager coming up against the Super Eagles that get a draw in charge. But just 2 players have started all of the qualifying process for the Nigerian team. Bratish, can you guess the players who've started every single World Cup qualifier on the get a draw this term? Just 2 players have. And the camera's pan on the manager. Well done to the producer.
Kelechi Iheanacho. 1?
No. So
I've already started out. William Trustekon?
No.
Right.
Amankwe. You want to guess? Just 2 players have started all of the World Cup qualifiers for get a draw. And no, the goalkeeper isn't one of them.
No, obviously.
I go with Moses Simon.
No.
Where's again? Let me say Osimhen.
Fantastic. Victor Osimhen and Jamila Collins. The only players who've started every World Cup qualifier for get a draw this term. So 1 over 2. Well done, James.
Thank you very much.
So I think Brownish needs to be the one taking the refereeing course now, and James sitting and dining with the finest pundits across the globe. And to played from left to right to the second 45. No tactical changes deployed. Liberians attacking from right to left. Nothing in terms of tactics also deployed by coach of the team, Peter Butler. Once upon a time manager of the Botswana national football team from 2014 until 2017. Certainly can compare him with Gerard who has toured the African continent until he found haven in Nigeria. Huge tackle. The free kick to Liberia did look quite good. There's Jamila Collins. It's over 52 minutes, James, and I think at a point in this game he might be shown a yellow card. He's been involved in almost all the tackles for the Nigerian team.
When that's his job. That is his job.
Because the referee's seen him often. That's why I'm asking you the question.
Of course,
the referees don't like you again.
But in this particular instance, it was just a normal foul.
Okay.
There was nothing in there for a yellow card. If you continue persistently infringing the loss of the game, you'll be shown a yellow card. So maybe when next he does that, he'll be shown a yellow card.
I think he's skating the edge of legality in this game. He's been very physical, but then again, it's required when you're playing against a Liberian side who will and can bully you off the ball, who have the pace. So it's he's been very instrumental in that left hand side. I remember, I think he was the one wwho got in on Kelechi Iheanacho's pass and was able to put the ball in the back of the net before it was ruled for offside. So he's been very, very instrumental in how Nigeria have been dangerous on the attack, because he's always providing an outlet for this Nigerian side moving forward. So I think he's a player who Nigeria need to actually protect, because the more pressure is piled on him, the more the ability and the intent for him to be physical comes up. And we've seen Leon Balogun on a couple of occasions have to clean up behind him when he moves forward. So that's something that Genetro has to take into account and basically remind him that your motive in this game, actually, aside from helping him with the attack, is also to cover up behind, and he needs to get his head in the game and focused and keep his tackles really clean so he can be out of the referee's books.
53 minutes of action played in Tangier. Liberia 0, Nigeria 1. They'll try to control possession. Jamal, the fullback, has done quite happily. Plays his football with Sabayev gain Azerbaijan. Going to draw in, standing around his technical area, dishing out instructions. And as the player went in for a tackle considered legal by the match official. Baude, the central defender, plays his football in Kosovo with FC Drita, Prince Baude. And that's the man who's famed for his composure at the back, the ability to just dissect play markers. Macaulay, football in Jordan. Here they come. Names mentioned more of the Liberians, because they've been pretty much exciting to watch in a few exchanges in the second half. A good cross into the penalty box, and they miscue. That's right at the tip of the penalty mark. Victor Osimhen has it on the far end. He's alone in the penalty area. Nigeria playing from left to right again, rolls it back to find Mercy Simon. It's not quite a convincing control one. It was more for Kelechi Iheanacho. And the fact he went in hard with his left foot showed. Here's Simon now. Turns facing the opposing goal. He's been dispossessed. And he regains possession. He loses possession again.
Like I said, very peripheral in this game. The Liberians have succeeded in absolutely silencing him. He's not been able to get his feet to the ball and actually work his magic. And I think if there's any player that needs to come off, it's certainly got to be Moses Simon. He's not been instrumental in anything that's been going on in this game. I mean, Jamiu Collins has been more instrumental going forward than Moses Simon on the other end, which is not something for an attacker you want to be hearing. But it's been particularly interesting. I think he's been more focused on he's been more defensive minded for some reason in this game, because we've seen him closer to the center circle than we have to the 18-yard area of the Liberian box for the majority of this game, both first half and second half included. 56 minutes gone, and I don't think we've necessarily seen him make more than a couple of touches in the 18-yard area of the Liberian box. I think his most notable contribution to this game was that free kick at the start of the second half. So he needs to be either more instrumental in this game, or he needs to be taken off. And I'm guessing Genetro is probably thinking right now that he needs to ready Samuel Chukwueze to get into this game, because I think on this right hand side, Chukwueze is going to have a lot of joy, because they're not the best when it comes to look at Moses Simon. I think that was him in the 18-yard area again defending on that occasion. So I think Samuel Chukwueze will be more instrumental for the attack, and as a result, Kelechi Iheanacho and Victor Osimhen would have a lot less pressure on them, because there's another jack in the box who can certainly correspond for Liberia at the back.
Yeah, the cameras just played back that miscue by Abu Kamara, the man who plays straight in North Macedonia, and a throw for Nigeria taken. Just an inch away from where Genetro is standing. It's going to be another throw. Mercy Simon will take. At least the manager can see him take a proper throw in. He's quite the talent, though. He's having quite the ball with his club side. Made his debut in 2015, that friendly against Uganda, the Cranes. Also part of the Nigerian team that won bronze in Egypt in 2019. Safe hands of goalkeeper Maduka Okoye. Draws it down to find Leon Balogun a 3-man back line. He can call it a 3-5-2 formation. He also could metamorphose into a 5-3-2 formation. As the captain, True Second, plays it forward to find Alex Iwobi. Rolls past the halfway line on the right inside. The intention was to find Mercy Simon, intercepted brilliantly by Kamara. For the few ones who can watch Trip there, and James has got his hands up, hoping for a yellow card. Even the manager, Butler, is just saying, well, if we cannot score, let's just ensure that they pick up cards.
But the Tunisian referee is so lenient in this particular game, not coming out with cards. Even in this particular challenge,
I didn't give
it was a foul, a well taken foul. The player committed himself and he was on to go. From there, you don't know what might have happened, and he was brought down in that particular instance, and the referee just allowed. He only awarded the free kick. That would have been a yellow card. About 5 yellow cards, which this particular referee that shown in this particular match, none has come on.
It's a happy man. I don't think yellow is his favourite colour.
Maybe red is.
Just maybe, you know, the central referees would be a bit lenient until boom, until they show the red card, and then the players would know there's no leniency.
It's not that deep, boss.
In its lexicon. Here they come, do Kelechi Iheanacho tries to float it to find Victor Osimhen, and a cute skill, and something beautiful to watch. The end result futile. Iberians will try to break from the centre part of midfield, intercepted, combined effort to whiff, and he hardly mentioned in this encounter. He's been doing his silent job as always. Here they come. It will be for Nigeria. A bit central now. And Didi draws it to the right inside to find Nwaziem. Good turn there from the Super Eagles player Joe Aribo with a number 10 shirt with his happy fit. Finds his fellow brethren in dreadlock. He will be. Good piece of pass. Great 1-2. Will be in the penalty box. A good go back. First touch is good from Victor Osimhen. And the clearance also quite commanding. Nwaziem. Simon also the far right inside. And a whip into the box. Just too heavy and high for Victor Osimhen. It's gone out of touch. It would be a goal kick to Liberia. 60 minutes of action played in Tangier. Liberia 0, Nigeria 1.
That was an absolutely delightful move by Nigeria. It involved Kelechi Iheanacho, Alex Iwobi, and of course Victor Osimhen, who was unable to get a shot off. And it was Alex Iwobi basically getting the ball to Kelechi Iheanacho, who found a perfect pass to Alex Iwobi. A bit too much, a bit too heavily hit, and they pushed Iwobi out a lot farther than he would have expected to go, but he was able to find Victor Osimhen, albeit the fact that Osimhen was closed down pretty quick between a couple of Liberian defenders, and he wasn't able to get a shot away. But fantastic stuff. Nigeria again coming forward, looking very dangerous with the players on the ball, and it seems like Iheanacho might be seeking to make a change.
They've got a taste of the new Maradona in the Super Eagles. They call him that. That's Chinera Ajwike. Plays a football with CSK Moscow in Russia.
We've actually seen him really good.
Yeah. Started one of the previous games, just getting confirmation of the match against Cape Verde in Mindelo. Was one of the exile alongside Ahmed Musa and Mercy Simon. They also did quite happily in that last fixture against the Central African Republic in Douala, match day 4. It's the advantage the Nigerian side have in terms of form coming into this game, just on the back of that much needed win against Leifo Verde. Had Leon Balogun put the first, and then came Victor Osimhen. Unfortunately for Liberia, they lost on the same day, appealing for a penalty, the Liberians, but it takes something dramatic for the match official to call that.
That was very obviously a penalty appeal. He was going for the ball. He was looking for the contact and he wasn't a very good penalty appeal. But anyway, Nigeria looking a bit wonky at the back, very shaky. That could have so easily gone the wrong way if, of course, the referee had decided he was going to just be, if he was going to be lenient on the Liberians.
Doesn't look quite happy. First tactical change, Alex Iwobi, the Evertonian, taken off. And it doesn't look happy. It's Chidera Ejuke who is being called upon. And welcome to the Ejuke show, I've got to say, because it will entertain you. Not sure what you make of that substitution of the players you've mentioned to possibly be taken off. I've heard Moses more than Alex Iwobi.
Yeah, actually, I think Iwobi has been more instrumental in this game than Moses Simon has. But then again, Genotro is right there on the sideline, so he's certainly seen a lot from more than what I'm seeing, obviously, and he's got an entire managerial team. I think Alex Iwobi still had a few, he still had some kilometers to run in his feet, but then again, perhaps Moses Simon is doing exactly what Genotro has wanted him to do, and then maybe we'll see him drop back a bit more to support the midfield, and then Ejuke will probably go forward with these first couple of touches, already looking very nifty on the ball, some really happy feet, and that looks like that right hand side of the Nigerian attack might start getting a lot more utilized now that Ejuke is on.
Seems to be a player the manager fancies. Genotro, always exciting to see him. Listening to Tony earlier and mention how across the globe, no football manager employed during the process. Genot was given a job in Nigeria, has invited players as much as Genotro has. So he just enjoys giving people opportunity to show their strength and skill, but not many have had the privilege. Nigeria with possession, as it's been the most part of this second half. 64 minutes, Liberia 0, Nigeria 1. As the new chap has given away possession, well dispossessed there by Sumaoro. Now they'll try to build from Pabai on the far right hand side. Mark Pabai of Pek Zwille in the Dutch Eredivisie. Goes all the way back to find Doué. So being partnered by a hugely experienced Balde. Cross-whipped into the Nigerian half. Well defended there by Leon Balogun. It's a free kick in his favour. It's going to be one for Nigeria. Just inches away from the byline. You've got the assistant referee. And by the posture of his flag, it looks like there's going to be a tactical change. So in hindsight, if that was a good penalty call, the video assistant referee looked like, James, it could have been given. That's going to be a double change.
Well, other referees could give that as a penalty, but this particular Tunisian referee decided to go for a play on. To me, if you had decided to go with a penalty, no problem, because the Nigerian defender obstructed the player, but at the same time he anticipated where the player wanted to go and he swiftly went in there. So you just have to give the referee the benefit of doubt, and he allowed advantage. You just have to go with him.
The double change, Sano and GA, players who've got to introduce for Liberia. To tweak things a bit, Brownish, how do you think they would approach the game now with two fresh legs on the pitch?
Yeah, fresh legs, obviously. Players that can run in from midfield and basically cause problems. It's going to be a bit of fresh legs are always going to be problematic, especially when it's over an hour played, an hour and 5 minutes. That's 65 minutes on clock as at this moment. The Nigerian defenders have obviously seemed very dominant when it comes to dealing with the Liberian threat, but we've also seen occasions where Liberia have slipped into spaces that shouldn't have been there. Liam Balogun and William Triseko obviously wrapping up and mopping up everything that's come their way, but it seems like the Liberians are thinking to themselves that, hey, we can still get something from this game. It's 1-0, and Chidera Ejuke still getting possession. He's tricks have not necessarily worked. I don't know as a result of the pitch, or it could just be that he's really not gotten into the game as of yet. But it seems like he has it. They say you get him for leg, but then again, it's not necessarily been. He's not delivered. Genatro looking a bit worried, even though Nigeria won goal up, because the chances and opportunities that seem to be coming hard and fast in the start, second half seem to dry up, and the Liberians are now they're not looking particularly dangerous, just more comfortable, and that's not something you want to see when you're just one goal up. You need to see your team pressing, you need to see your team creating opportunities. Perhaps the Liberians have unlocked they've unlocked the code for keeping Victor Osimhen and Kelechi Iheanacho out of the game for the majority of what's left. But then again, Genatro does have players on the bench. He can call Samuel Chukwueze in, he can call Paul Onuachu. These are players who certainly can come in and cause trouble. Victor Osimhen still looks to have a lot of running left in him. So I don't think Genatro is going to be taking him off anytime soon. But the Nigerian team look very, very organized and balanced, and they look to be trying to stay on the front foot and to keep Liberia out of their final third.
The concern on the face of Genatro might be due to the updates that Cape Verde found a way back in that game. Julio Tavares, 68 minutes. Alde Mindelo, it's Cape Verde 1, Central African Republic 1, but it does nothing to Nigeria's chances of qualifying for the playoff. As stands, the Eagles will not need to beat Cape Verde in Lagos to play on the playoff. Well, except Cape Verde eventually get a maximum point. But until we get to that bridge, they've got to stay focused. James called this fixture 1-0 scoreline. We're hoping to see more goals in this encounter. And Ross introduced Edric, and the referee wants the ball back. It's a free kick to Nigeria. Aribo was hoping to get a goal in quickly.
So, Emmanuel, if you look at the African football, I think he's going closer to that 1-0 than 3-4-0 the way Brownish predicted.
Ball back to the Super Eagles player, Chidozio Aziem. They've regained possession. Moses Sano is one of the players who's just been called upon, and he knows he's got quality to cause problems for the Nigerian defenders. Liberia attacking on the left-hand side, and successful tackle, and they've been forced all the way back into their half. That's something that should excite Genatro. Defenders are doing the job.
Yeah, I think the Liberians have realized something. At the very least, you need to hold on to possession if you're going to create something, and they're doing that. Leon Balogun and William Truseko have not necessarily been tested. It's just been the flanks, the Liberians trying to get in on the flanks, and those flanks have looked particularly vulnerable. Jamil Collins and I think Moses Simon getting on the right side, they're not necessarily looking very comfortable, but it's still, the jury is still out as to whether the Liberians can be quite dangerous enough to cause problems.
That was a connecting header. Looked quite dangerous, but the goalkeeper had it covered. Madakawa Okoye came off a corner from the right inside and had the presence of mind, the central defender, seeking to hurt the Nigerian team. 70 minutes of action played. Liberia 0, Nigeria 1, and the other fixture. This particular group, it's Cape Verde 1, Central African Republic 1. On Tuesday we'll see the curtains, the second qualifying stage. The knockout phase, also referred to as the playoff round of the FIFA World Cup qualifiers, will take place in March 2022. Only group winners in this stage advancing. The knockout phase will be a home and away exercise, which eventually will produce Africa's 5 flag bearers. At the moment, Mali, one of the teams who've advanced. Egypt also did that on Friday night. The Desert Foxes of Algeria, likewise. The entire continent just waiting on that fixture. 8 p.m. tomorrow, and we'll go down in Ghana. They play host to a Bafana team. One of either Ghana or South Africa will not advance to the playoff phase. At the moment, it's the South Africans who have the edge. But the Ghanaians have that advantage of playing at home and knowing a full well that 1-0 will take them through to the playoff stage.
Going to be a tough game.
It would be quite a battle. I've got no sentiment attached with either team, but the love of African football, that's the game we're all waiting for. Well, after Liberia, Nigeria, that is. Possession back with the Eagles. True Stakong. That tells you where the position of the ball is at the moment. It's on the far left hand side, and he, for the time being, Jamila Collins becomes a goalkeeper. There's too much of a pass from True Stakong. 73 minutes played. Liberia 0, Nigeria 1. A throw would come from the right inside for Bai. He's also got Adway and Samaro just close down. They've also introduced Musasano and Alan Njie. Maho got that call, but it's a terrible defensive pass. Unfortunately, he knows he could have taken full advantage of that. Klanga almost dropped by. The combined effort of Troost and Leon Balogun, and he looked completely dazed. It could have been something different if his first thought wasn't poor. But here they come, Nigeria. At a telling pass, it looks onside. Victor Osimhen pleading for support. Gets one a bit central. Kelechi Iheanacho turns, eventually facing his own goal now. Hawaziem back to Iheanacho. Good piece of passing now from Nigeria. Ejurike with a roll line to the penalty box. A bit disappointing when he's needed to hold on to the ball, he doesn't.
And when he's supposed to pass, he seems to hold on to the ball a bit too much. Actually, that was a terrible pass from William Troost-Ekong. Could have easily cut the Nigerian defense out, but for the heavy touch of the Liberian attacker, Nigeria could certainly have been pegged back again. And in this game, it seems like the Liberians have decided on a game plan. When the Nigerian attackers are on the ball, they're going to choke them, with a lot of bodies. You're going to, once you see Victor Osimhen is on the ball, Kelechi Iheanacho is on the ball, there's a sea of red and blue just absolutely engulfing them and making their lives particularly difficult, making it virtually impossible for them to move forward with the ball or even get any sort of contact. And holy smokes, that came really close.
How was him? From over 45 yards. Gone in. He must be one of the contenders for the Pushkas Award this year.
Good luck, the qualifiers.
Hit it real good.
Yeah, he hit it really well. Put his foot through it right on the meat, and it was on target. It looked to be on target, but he went over the bar.
HJK again just trying to roll his way, wriggle his way through two players. Possession back with the Liberians. Macaulay is giving it away. Referee plays the advantage for Nigeria. HJK giving away possession again.
He's good with his feet, but his awareness is absolutely shambolic. He doesn't know where players are on the ball. It seems like no one is communicating with the Ejike when he's on the ball. He seems a bit too comfortable, a bit too flat-footed for someone who is
make that goal number 2 maybe. The assistant flag goes up. Rightfully so, James.
Yeah, it was a good call. Osimhen was just a bit faster than the player who passed the ball, and the got that spot on offside.
Now McAvoy, the fullback for the Liberian national side, has got quite the story. The man who's finally accepted to play for the Lone Stars. He was first invited to the national team from the qualifiers with Chad in October 2019. Just 21. Moved to the Netherlands with his family when he was 6-year-old. Cameras were part and coach of the team, Peter Butler, who says his team will play for pride today. I think the important thing for my perspective is you playing for pride, playing for your country. Words of Liberia head coach Peter Butler. And after 76 minutes, he indeed has looked quite the team. They've shown no respect to the Super Eagles. The tackle of Mosi Simon just almost taking a foot in that tackle. It's going to be a threat to Nigeria. Just a few distance away from the halfway line on the right-hand side. 77 minutes now, Liberia 0, Nigeria 1.
Still very peripheral, Moses Simon. His biggest call to action has been to be taking the set pieces for Nigeria, on a couple of occasions. Free kick, corner, throwing, and we've seen Leon Balogun making a very Antonio Rudiger-esque run into between 20 to 24 yards of the Liberian 18-yard area, and just trying to get Jamilu Collins into the game to maybe whip a cross in. A cross he's been unable to whip in, and challenge comes in. He was too heavy again on the Liberian, and he's given Liberia a free kick very close to their corner flag. So Liberia trying to hang on. They're hanging on by their fingernails at this point, but Nigeria also not looking particularly dangerous. Seems like all that verve and intensity has tapered out towards the hour mark, and all of a sudden it seems like both teams are on level terms, which should not be so, if I do say so myself.
Things are beginning to change. What looked like a formality, the fixture on Tuesday in the first 45 minutes, now is a must-win game, because Cape Verde in front for the first time in that game against the Central African Republic. Stopira has just got a second for the home side, which at the moment puts the group in quite a competitive stage. The Nigerian team are still top, 12 points. It means by virtue of that goal from Stopira, Cape Verde are second, 10 points. If they win in Lagos, they still at top spot, so it's all important. But again, if the Nigerian side play out a draw, they will advance. So no pressure, but there's still pressure. That's what you get for losing at home to the Central African Republic. 79 minutes of action played. Liberia 0, Nigeria 1. A throw will come. Taking shot by Awaziem. Finds Simon. Kelechi Iheanacho just coming through to also help out. Floats a bit central to find Leon Balogun, who enjoys driving through but shows no desire in that instance. That's a disappointing touch. Hopefully it's not from the man you like to call. Yes. This time from Joe Aribo. Goal kick it will be for Liberia, taken quickly. Baude with a clearance. Good interception there from Leon Balogun. That's all Liberia now as they try to break from the left hand side. Well intercepted there by Chidozie Awaziem. Looked to be clicked by the referee. Wouldn't buy that drama. That's exactly what he tried to put out there. Went down clutching it.
The referee was right there. He was never going to deceive the referee.
He didn't even have to see if he saw him. He had to come to Nigeria, trying to put this game to bed. It's 2 against 3. It's a heavy pass from Iheanacho. Intention was to find Victor Osimhen, but as soon as he has it, Iheanacho alone in the box. Rolls it down to find Ejike. Plays it back to Collins. Chidera. That's his first name. Aribo. Chidera instructed to go all the way back to find Balogun, who rolls it across to Awaziem. In Nigeria's half, they're playing from right to left. Gets it across back to Captain True second. Here's Leon Balogun. It's the 3 central defenders. It's marshaled by Genotro. Aribo coming through to help out. It's got Iheanacho on the right hand side. It's got Ndidi a bit central. True second for Nigeria. Awaziem. Got to drive past the halfway line. They do just after heavy touch. The control not too perfect. Are still within possession for Nigeria. Go to the right hand side. Keep going back the Nigerian national team.
But you can't blame them. If you look at the Liberian backline, it's steady. 8 players behind the ball. Like, it's an 8-player defensive line, literally, against just 3 or 4 of the Nigerian attackers. So it's more a patient build-up play for Nigeria at this point, and just trying to get themselves into dangerous areas. Victor Osimhen, Kelechi Iheanacho, just obviously getting some really, really deft touches in, and it seems like Osimhen goes down under a challenge from the Liberian backline.
Just one tactical change made by Genotro in 82 minutes.
that tactical change is starting to seem like make I just do it. Let's just it wasn't necessarily, but then again, it hasn't given bad results. It's not like AGK has scored an own goal, but I'm just saying that it didn't necessarily look like it needed to be, because the moment he took Alex Iwobi off, it seemed like the intensity was dropped, and then the link to the midfield and the attack seemed to have broken for a bit. I'm still looking forward to seeing Samuel Chukwueze introduced into this game, because I think that's the next logical substitution in, because everyone else is doing what they have to do, except from he who I don't have to mention again, but I will, Moses Simon. But interesting stuff. Nigeria is still looking dominant, but not as dominant as in the first 45.
Yeah, Marcus Papa Macaulay, one of the players I mentioned the most in this team, it's been taken off, and a man who's been introduced is Van de Hamor from Albania. Plays football in Albania with Kia Falaci. It's been called upon. He's a forward, so the manager making tactical changes. This encounter just showing that they're not playing for a point. That game on Tuesday would be quite the contest if it ends as it stands, by virtue of the live score, where Liberia losing to Nigeria and Cape Verde are winning against the Central African Republic, heading into the final 8 minutes of this encounter. Hasn't been a blockbuster. It's been one of those fixtures where the most important thing is the maximum point.
Yeah, it looks to be that Nigeria are just trying to just get the maximum points. Liberia are holding on by their fingernails, absolutely intensely trying to just stay in the game long enough for Nigeria to basically slip up and give them an opportunity to slide in. It seems like a foul throw was taken, and this is very funny. How foul throw? It only can be seen in Nigeria. Try to get
this
in.
This is not Nigeria. That's the Liberians.
No, but it was a Nigerian foul throw.
Oh, it was.
Yes, it was a Nigerian foul throw.
I saw it's not a Nigerian thing or the African thing. I saw
these foul throws in the Premier League.
This Arsenal player that have gone on loan to Real Betis, Hector Bellerin, made like 5 foul throws last season. So he's not a Nigerian or African thing.
Now why they loan and go Real Betis now?
I should say that. So it just might be him having fun. Just to show the world that we still have the rule that is against foul throws. 84 minutes of action played. Liberia 0, Nigeria 1. Now it's become pretty much a talk through. You'd fancy getting a draw, throwing in a defender, or keeping this entire squad. It's a squad without Diony Gale. You'd expect him to feature in Lagos. That's a possibility, but just in hindsight, that tackle on Victor Osimhen, the manager pleaded for a penalty. His hands were up.
He was pleading for anything.
The referee from Tunisia, Yusuf Ethrai, is saying, well, there's no way I'll be given as a penalty.
No, there was nothing there.
3-time African Cup of Nations winners, Nigeria, most recent coming through in 2013. And the joy that they will be in Cameroon, seeking to win a fourth next year. Till that Ariad Maris stunning free kick denied them a chance in the final. The last edition. So back in play. Jamila Collins. It's a heavy touch. Easy save from goalkeeper Boysin Winnie de Souza. And he applies his trade in Romania. It's FC Somersul. Here they come, Liberia. It'll be fascinating to see the Lone Stars pull one back. Confirmation of the time, 86 minutes. Just a penalty goal from Victor Osimhen as approached this two team. And he gets a free kick. Looks like the man who would happily walk away with the MVP. It's been kicked, it's been tackled, and he's still found a way to get one past Winnie de Souza. Free kick to Nigeria. 6 inches away from the centre rack. Nothing threatening except the defenders conspire. This sort of position shouldn't hurt you if you're not a professional team, as the Lone Stars are. It's hard to even tell what he would do.
it's easy to tell what he should do.
We'll continue with the count. Ahmed Musa is going to be introduced for Kelechi Iheanacho, and just before he comes onto the pitch, William Troost-Ekong does the ritual of handing the captain armband to a man who's making his 103rd appearances. That's I would say 102. That's battle cushion, but he's certainly the man with the most caps for the Nigerian national team. He was speaking prior to this encounter, saying the weather is quite favourable, and he's also happy to see some of the guys who missed out in the previous encounter. It was supposed to be an intelligent set piece. Unfortunately, it will be a goal kick to Liberia.
Absolutely atrocious set piece, I have to say. That's one of those set pieces things that you should have worked on the training pitch. I saw a couple of opportunities, one player running in, you could have just found him. But then again, it's the Super Eagles are just basically, it's not the Super Eagles overextending. I believe they're trying not to overextend, and they're trying just to hold on to possession long enough to create something. And well, that's all well and good. It doesn't seem feasible because these Liberians seem to have a lot more confidence, and they have a lot more bodies to throw at the attacking force of the Super Eagles. And now it's just a ding-dong affair. Everybody's trying to clear their lines and absolutely keep the ball in the center of the pitch.
They're taking their time, the Nigerian national side, trying to help out. It's going to be quiet at UK, but they get his mojo back on. He's on the right hand side. Good piece of passing. Musa throws it all the way into the Super Eagles half to find captain. No longer captain on the pitch now, Troost-Ekong. So Aziem driving through. Crossfield pass to the left hand side, quite telepathic. Good chest down from Jamila Collins. Something happy to see.
Just Super Eagles playing possession football, being very patient.
And it's just 120 seconds left.
Yeah, I mean, there's no need to overextend to get the 3 points, already in the driver's seat. The Nigerians just need to keep the ball in the right areas to cause problems for this Liberian side. And then the Liberians just try to lob the ball into the Nigerian 18-yard area to try and create something, because that's where they want the ball to be. It's a conflict of desires as at this moment. Both sides need to hold on to possession. This is where the delay tactics would be best employed if Nigerians can hold on to possession for long enough and possibly draw as many tackles. That's where Chidera Ejuke should come into contact. If Samuel Chukwueze had been introduced, this is where he would have thrived. Because he would hold on to possession, cause problems for the Liberians, frustrate them, keep the ball away from the defenders, and cause them to lunge into tackles and basically go down in dangerous areas or in positions where they actually shouldn't be making tackles, and keep the possession with Nigeria. Right now, the Liberians they are actually contributing a lot to the forward press, throwing a lot of bodies at the Nigerian defense to try and at least choke it the same way they've choked the Nigerian attack. And it could be problematic for their defensive goals, because if Nigeria gets enough of an organized break, it could cause problems for Liberia. But the Liberians obviously don't care at this point. It's like a minute left, a couple of seconds left of normal time to play, and they're just throwing everything at Nigeria, kitchen sink included, and just in the bid to just get 1 point from this game.
Yeah, if you fancy the referee, I'm not sure he would be considered adding more than 60 seconds in this game. 3 additional minutes.
I don't know where you got
180 seconds. Minimum of 3 minutes.
I don't know where you got the 3 minutes from, because we saw literally nothing in the second half. Just the way it happened in the first half.
Yeah.
There was nothing in the first half.
So it's just the ritual. Just the ritual for 3 minutes.
There was no second at the end in the first half. I was just expecting like a minute because of the substitution made. 3 minutes.
Just given 3.
Wow.
You say when I don't do substitution plenty. So
That's joy for the Liberians to find that stoppage time equalizer. I would send celebrations out in Mandela for third. Just give them the confidence they require. But whenever Nigeria taking Liberia, it's always, as I would say, educate with a skill.
Yeah, doing what he's expected to do, hold on to possession in dangerous areas, and he didn't go forward.
But the thing about him is he's quite confident.
He is.
By the way he's on the pitch, he just wants to dribble.
Yeah, that's all. That's all there is to it. And Victor Osimhen just wants to score. So they are
a different mindset.
Exactly, and it in a more serious game, in a game that has more conflict, it might cause issues between both players because HUK holds on to the ball a little too much, and Osimhen would wish he would, and perhaps Osimhen would possibly be too single-minded for HUK, so they could possibly, but then again Genotro has made the right calls, I do believe, because his calls have actually had an effect, while in the second half they weren't quite as effective, but in the first half most definitely it was exactly what the doctor ordered, and Nigeria very dominant first half, second half not quite as dominant but dominant nonetheless, and eventually affecting the game, having a 1-goal scoreline 2 minutes into added on time is fantastic for Nigeria, because now the ball is in the center circle area. This is exactly where Nigeria want to do. Liberia trying to lob the ball, bypass everything in the midfield, get the ball into dangerous areas. Delightful defending from Nigeria. I have to say Leon Balogun he's been sublime in this game. I would say he's been a defensive rock. And Victor Osimhen coming forward again to try and make it safe.
He's gone past the goalkeeper. It would be a penalty.
He's got to be a penalty and a red card.
This time has pointed to the spot right into stoppage time. In stoppage time, a yellow card to the goalkeeper and a penalty to Victor Osimhen. James was becoming a prophet until this penalty is given. So that prediction, except the goalkeeper does something remarkable and saves it. This would be the perfect way to end what hasn't been quite entertaining, but quite tactical from a Genotro perspective. I've got to say, but was awful defending. The man in charge wouldn't be Butler, wouldn't be excited.
This could also be a red card to the goalkeeper if the referee had shown him a yellow card the first half,
which was completely warranted, by the way.
So the penalty will come. It wouldn't be a brace for Victor Osimhen. Would be a man who enjoys playing, a man who enjoys leading, and a man who enjoys scoring. A man with the most cap for Nigeria, Ahmed Musa, and everyone, even those on the bench, will join in celebrating a Super Eagles most cap player who continues in the hunt to chase that record set by Rashidi Yakini. It's the top scorer for the national team. It was quite the conversion there, Brownish. There was no way the goalkeeper would get it. Bottom right corner this time. And it's Liberia 0, Nigeria 2.
Suffice it to say that on 2 occasions, this goalkeeper has been the problem for Liberia. And on 2 occasions, he's been absolutely abysmal with his goalkeeping when it comes to the penalties he's caused.